Hello and welcome to everybody on Cloud Fitness. So on today's video, we are going to see how we can work with JSON file in the Databricks. So now let's move on to the Databricks portal, and here we are into our Databricks workspace. So in this session, we will have a JSON file. We will just try to manipulate it and see how we can fetch it into maybe a temp view, how we can read our JSON files using Databricks, and mostly we will do everything using explode function. So for that we have to import explode and column from PySpark SQL function. So that is why we have command 1 over here. So let's run this command. So now we have imported explode and column. So when you talk about explode function, what it is? So basically explode is a PySpark function which is used to explode an array of array. So basically a nested array can be exploded using explode function, and when I say that it can be exploded, I essentially mean that from column to rows data can be manipulated. So in this example, we will see how this explode function will actually help us. So for that, we have to create a JSON file which has a nested array, and here we go. So I have created for now a sample of a JSON file which we will be loading it as a data frame. We will be reading that file as a data frame. So if you see on the screen right now, this person is the JSON object. Now inside that person we have the details of name, age and home. So home, if you see, is a nested array, right? It has the area and the house number that a person of so and so age and name owns. So I have two basically records here. The first one is Bhavna and the second one is Lily. So you can see that the second record also has name, age and an array of array, which is the home, which has area and the house number. So this is the overall JSON file that we have. These are just the two records that I have loaded into a variable home.json or home underscore JSON. So just let's run this. Now once you have this stored in a variable which is home underscore JSON, I am trying to create a file out of it, right? So in the dbfs location, temp location, I'm just trying to read this data as home underscore detail.json file. So just with this variable, I'm trying to create a file named as home details.json. So now this dbutils.fs.put, this is Databricks utility commands that you can use. We'll talk about this in the later part of some video. Now coming on to the command 4, which is basically creating the data frame. So now we already have a file, home details.json. We have this JSON file and now we want to create a data frame out of it, right? So that is why this simple command which we have been using in almost all of our videos, spark.read.option multiline, because this is a multiline JSON, and the location of the JSON file. So let's run this as well. So we have created the data frame now. Now once we have created the data frame, let's try to see what's inside the data frame. So guys, you can see now inside my data frame I have the same content, right? What I was showing you that I stored in the variable, the same content I have in my data frame. I have the age, I have the home and the area, the house number, which is in a nested array, right? So we have the two records for two people over here, and then now from this data we have this data frame, and you have seen how that data frame looks like. Now let's go ahead and try to create a temporary view out of that file which is present in a temp location. So why I am creating a temporary file here is a temporary view over here is so that we can query it, right? If we have a temporary view on the JSON file, then in that case we will be able to query it. So that is the reason I'm trying to create a temporary view using the JSON file. So since I have already created this view, that is why it shows that temporary view already exists. So now if you go and we try to do a select star from that view, Now you can see the view has same data as the data frame, right? So now this is not in a very good structured format. This is a JSON format. Now how do we organize it? Right? If you see, there are only two rows here. The first one, let me highlight it. The first one is this row and the second one is this row, right? So these are the two rows over here, and these rows are inside a column named as persons. Now what I want to do, I want to explode it. When I say I want to explode it, I want to create two rows of persons, right? I want to create two rows. Now for that, we have a function named as explode. So now let's run this command. I'll actually show you and explain you how it works. Now I have run this command, and now let's try to display the data frame that we have created. So guys, now you can see how explode command has worked. Now I have tried to create a data frame named as persons uh, from the first data frame df.select. What is this df? This df is the data frame that we created on the top. Now I am moving at the top. So while reading this file from the JSON, right, we created a data frame that I showed you. The same data frame we are using. So basically I am using the JSON data frame that we created. Now using that JSON data frame, I'm trying to explode the persons, right? I'm trying to explode. When I'm saying I'm trying to explode, I am trying to create rows out of a column, right? So there are two rows over here. So I am trying to just segregate it based on the column name that is there right now, which is persons, right? And then after segregating also, I'm giving it the same name as persons. So this is how your explode works, right? And now once you have exploded it, when I'm trying to display the data frame named as persons, you can see that here we have the two rows of which actually correspond to two different people, right? Earlier it was everything was in a single row. Now guys, let's move forward and try to make it in a more structural format, in a more tabular format, and see how we can do that. Now we have already created two rows out of it. What else do we want? So now I want to denormalize this home part, right? This part which I have highlighted on the screen right now. Now I want to basically denormalize the area. So when I say I want to denormalize the area, if you see for the record 1 over here, we have two areas, Mumbai and Chennai, right? If you look here, we have two areas, Mumbai and Chennai, in the same row. So I want to create two rows out of it for the same person, right? Now to do that, I have to explode. Explode what? Explode this home, right? Because home is the object over here, right? I want to explode home object to fetch the area, so that there are two more rows for each area, one for Mumbai, one for Chennai. For person number 1, for person number 2, Lily, in that case there are two areas, New Zealand and Jaipur. Now these two areas also should come as two different rows. Now to do that, we have this command over here. I'm using the data frame persons data frame that we created. Now, so this person's data frame is exactly the same data frame which we have created over here. Now I'm trying to select what? Select name. So from this person, I am trying to select the name column, and I am giving it the alias of person's name. I am trying to select the age of the person, and then I'm trying to explode persons.home. So I'm going inside persons, I'm going inside home, and I'm asking it to explode, right? And once you explode, just name it as home locations. And once you explode it, from home locations, just fetch the house number as well. So this is the house number, right? I am trying to create one more column from my exploded data and keep it as another column. So once I run it, it will be actually very much clear. So let me run this command 10 first. Now let me show you what happened over here. Okay guys, So now you can actually see what happened over here. Bhavna has come 2 times because the home locations, we were trying to explode it based on home locations, right? We were trying to, if you see on the top, we were trying to explode it based on home, right? And we have given the alias of home location. So that is why we have home locations over here. And when I say that we were trying to explode based on home, so this is home and we were trying to explode it. So it has an array of area, right? It has an array where array of array, which is basically area. So what it did is it created 2 rows, one Mumbai, one Chennai, and similarly it created for the second person as well, which is New Zealand and Jaipur. Then what I was trying to do is I was trying to fetch house number. So I these are the house numbers, right? From home location. So from home locations I am trying to fetch the house number, and I am trying to alias it as home numbers. So this 85, 66 and 1 2 12. So these are home numbers. I have taken home numbers from these home location, and then I have created a new column of this home numbers. So this is basically, you can see how our JSON file looked earlier and how it is right now, right? So this is basically how you can deal with your JSON file. In case you want to query it, you want to do something out of it, in that case you can create a temp view. So let's say I have already created this data frame, and you know that this data frame looks like this, right? Now from this data frame you can create a view. So let me create a view. So this is my data frame house which we have created. Now from that I am creating a temporary view, house underscore temp underscore view. And now let me select star from house temp view. So if I do select star from house temp view, you can see these are the columns that we were trying to explode, that we were trying to fetch, and then if we need to work on it, we can go ahead and start working on it, right? So basically this is how you can work around with the JSON file, and you can do quite a lot of things over here. So let's say you want to have a hierarchy for the home numbers as well. So right now home numbers are coming as a list, right? 80, 85, 66, 12. In that case, if you want to explode these numbers into different rows, in that case, if you see, we can use the same data frame that we have created earlier, house, and then we can select the columns, which is the person's name. So this is the column that we are selecting. Then we are selecting column named as person's age. Then we are selecting column home locations as well. And then we are trying to explode home numbers. So this is your home numbers, right? So we are trying to explode home numbers, and we are giving them an alias of house numbers. Right, so now let's go ahead and run this command for df2, and now our data frame is created. Now let's go ahead and see how our data frame looks like now. Now if you see, after running this command, we have person's name, we have person's age, we have home locations, which is same as above, right? But what has changed here is the home numbers. So now home numbers are also in from column, it has come into the rows, right? So this is how you go ahead and deal with the JSON file. You can create a temp view out of the data frames that you have created. And yes, so this is pretty much that I wanted to cover in this video. Do let me know in the comment section if you have any doubts or you want me to make video on some other topic. And thank you for being here. Thank you so much.